Well, howdy, y'all. Hey, this will be a simple defense of defining MGTOW as not being married. Right now, I know this issue's been covered before, refined, jumping in a little late, but I just wanted to sort of make it concrete. All other concerns aside, defining MGTOW as simply not having a marriage license has the benefits of being both simply defined and easily observed. One can posit intellectual and philosophical ideas like MGTOW being about freedom, independence, autonomy, self-sufficiency, invention, trailblazing, exploring, creation, self-actualization, self-fulfillment, and such. But all these things take place intra-personally, or on the inside of a person, and are not easily observed. Just simply being content, being accepting of oneself is a deep philosophical problem, or spiritual problem for some. So even on their best day, wanting to defend marriage, one can go further into discussions about risk and the benefit marriage has to the couple, and thus to the child, and thus society. Now, however true these matters might be, the plain and simple truth now is that marriage has become too risky for most men and even some women. Society has shown this risk aversion in the tendency of both men and women to avoid state-backed or official marriage of any kind. Thus, the phenomena of men going their own way is manifest from the way the current legal model of marriage is. So fighting it won't matter. Defining it won't matter. Co-opting MGTOW or marriage or the idea of self-determination and so forth, it doesn't matter with regards to the issue of state-backed or any official marriage of any kind. People are abandoning the institution of marriage as it is. Okay? And so, whether or not the laws can be changed back is immaterial. Marriage has lost its mystique for both men and women. Right? Now, this statement is not just about the laws. Okay? Because the sort of nature of marriage was exposed, few people want to engage in it now. Even if the nature wasn't abused by those in the legal system for money, which is the true nature of marriage, it's simply an exchange of property. Right? Even if those abuses hadn't occurred by the very lawyers that wrote the law, marriage has been undone, it's been unmasked. Right, okay? So as it stands now, marriage is only useful as a reproductive agreement between two heterosexual citizens that wish to engage in propagating the citizenry responsibly. We won't go into all the people that are propagating the citizenry irresponsibly, thus resulting in an irresponsible citizenry. We won't judge people here, right? We're all trying our best. Right? Everyone makes mistakes. Some people make more mistakes than others. It's, whatever. Alright? But marriage as a state-backed agreement only exists now apparently for one of two reasons, or should. If entered into rationally. For the propagation of the citizenry, or as apparently since gay marriage is around, and since from feminist mouths, from that one feminist, it's about giving equal rights to others. So apparently, yes, marriage also exists as a way for two citizens to obtain a bunch of common law and enumerated rights over each other for a host of weird civil and historical reasons. These rights exist over a married couple. We won't go into the weird specifics of it. Right? It's about incentivizing behavior and idealized behavior, right, which will go to love and even money later on. But an example of incentivizing behavior through the law in marriage. A change in sex rate is grounds for divorce in some states. Right? And this is for fault. This is a for fault divorce. Right? Like, let's say and the odd thing is this presumes premarital sex, this decision. So if you were dating a woman, you're having a certain amount of sex with her before the marriage, and then she marries you, and then after the marriage the sex reduces, then that's a grounds for a fault divorce in some states. That's funny. It's almost like explicitly stating that marriage is just an exchange of money for sex, essentially, or a bunch of rights over me for sex. Right? And but what this does is, the reason why the law does this, teleological reasoning, is this to encourage a low amount of premarital sex, because premarital sex bad. It spreads disease. You want people to be very selective and very picky. Very few sexual partners, ideally, so there's not a lot of disease spreading around the citizenry. And so the rational actor, if they were intending to get married in the safest way possible, would have as little sex before the marriage as possible, so that once you get married, you would only be able to go up. So oddly, they're discouraging a lot of premarital sex. Like, if you reduce your marital sex to a level below premarital sex, that's grounds for divorce. That's funny. But you see where you can attach reason to that? And how the government's kind of trying to incentivize responsible behavior? Other examples are marriage tax credits for marriage and for having children. Right. I won't get into why those have been separated. This is just a real quickie side note example. So yeah, and just to speed this up. So marriage currently is only rational if it is entered into with the intention of creating new citizens or human beings, whether biological or not. Orphans, you can adopt children, raise other people's children if you wish. If this is what you wish to do, if you wish to team up with somebody, another human being, and raise children, this is in the best interest of the state, ergo e pluribus unum, ergo everyone else, in theory. Now, but as for MGTOW, marriage is just too risky now to be entered into for any other reason, especially for reasons as silly as money or love. If you wish to enter into a relationship for money, then engage in a relationship based on that, on money. If you wish to enter into a relationship based on love, then enter into that relationship based on love. But leave the state out of your money relationship. Leave the state out of your love relationship. Leave the rest of us out of it. Right? Our only interest, the state's only interest, humanity's only interest, is in the new human being you created. The new citizen. If you're not creating new citizens, no reason to involve the government. No reason. Yeah, no need to drag other people into your crappy marriage. Just go off in the woods and say vows to whatever imaginary god you have. Or, just promise to each other whatever you want to promise. Engage in whatever weird relationship you want. Now, as for MGTOW in marriage, this can't happen. As I said before, marriage feeds into bad civilization for men. Feeds into your own self-destruction. Right? MGTOW is about self-fulfillment without qualifying oneself with or by women. It's about self-actualization and realization. MGTOW is oddly true traditionalism. Men will go their own way, and women will follow. They already have. Yeah, I argue that MGTOW is true traditionalism. That men are just going to go do what they want. That's what women want. They want a guy who's a doer that they can follow and latch onto. You can say whatever you want, positive or negative about it. That's what a lot of women want. They want a guy who's a leader, who's going his own way, he's doing his own thing, so they can go and get up in his business. Because they like getting up in people's business. Yeah, MGTOW is just true traditionalism. Eventually, enough men will go their own way, and it's already happening, where women are abandoning feminism, anti-feminist. Enough men are going their own way, where women are getting into gaming. Enough men are going their own way. Women are getting into atheism. Wherever men start going, wherever large groups of men start going or doing, women will naturally follow. This is not a good or a bad thing. This is just a thing. This is the way it should be. MGTOW is traditionalism. In its purest, most primitive, primal sense. It is not worshipping women as gods. Which, deep down inside, A woman doesn't want to be worshipped as a god. Alright. Well, you guys have a nice day. And always remember to go your own way. Yours truly, M.